Saitama Introduction Arc. The Saitama Introduction Arc is the first arc of One Punch Man, setting up the series and introducing the main character, Saitama. The story starts with a monster named Vaccine Man who is destroying a city. While watching the chaos on TV, Saitama decides to intervene. When Vaccine Man tries to kill an innocent child, Saitama steps in and says he's a hero for fun. Vaccine Man transforms and prepares for a fight, but Saitama defeats him with one punch. This leads into a flashback where we learn that Saitama started his hero journey after defeating a monster named Crablante. Crablante had been chasing a child who had drawn nipples on his shell. Saitama saved the child by defeating Crablante, and after that he began intense training to become a hero. Back in the present, Saitama is shopping when he's interrupted by two rampaging brothers, the Brain and Brawn brothers. After a quick fight, he defeats them, but in the process accidentally destroys Beast City. Later, while at home, Saitama has a dream where he faces off against the Subterraneans, a group of underground monsters, and their leader. He almost fights their leader, but it turns out to be just a dream. However, when the real Subterraneans invade, Saitama quickly handles them. He kills their leader, the Subterranean King, in a flash, causing the remaining Subterraneans to retreat. The boy Saitama saved from Crablante turns out to be the grandson of Agoni, a wealthy man who later founded the Hero Association. This sets the stage for many of the connections and conflicts in the series. Monster Raid Arc. The Monster Raid Arc kicks off with the Hero Association worrying about Garou's attacks on their staff and deciding to assign heroes to protect important people. King gets called but refuses, pretending he's busy with a monster when he's actually gaming. Meanwhile, Metal Bat is forced to protect a sponsor, Narinki, and his son Waganma at a restaurant. Waganma acts spoiled, frustrating Metal Bat, but before he can deal with it, two monsters, Junior Centipede and Venus Mantrap, attack. Metal Bat quickly fights them off, but soon faces a bigger threat, Senior Centipede and Raffle Sidon. While Metal Bat battles, Garou learns about Watchdog Man's routine and decides to hunt him next. Metal Bat holds his own against Senior Centipede even when Raffle Sidon's gas attack makes him dizzy. After beating the monsters, he barely gets a moment's rest before Elder Centipede, a giant dragon-level monster, shows up. Metal Bat tries to fight Elder Centipede but struggles because the monster's shell is too tough. Garou shows up just as Metal Bat is thrown across the city. Garou plans to leave, but seeing Metal Bat still standing changes his mind, and the two start fighting. Metal Bat, despite being badly hurt, refuses to give up, even getting stronger as the fight goes on. Garou mocks him but starts realizing Metal Bat's strength is no joke. Just when Metal Bat is about to strike a huge blow, his little sister Zenko arrives and yells at him to stop fighting. Garou sneaks in an attack, but Zenko steps between them, ending the battle. Garou leaves, annoyed, and is approached by Phoenix Man and Sludge Jellyfish, who try to recruit him to the Monster Association. Garou tears up their offer and tells them off, showing he's not interested in joining monsters. Meanwhile, other heroes like Pineapple and Mohican are trying to protect Narinki and Waganma, but are completely outmatched by Rhino Wrestler. Phoenix Man orders Rhino Wrestler to grab Waganma and leave, reminding him the real battle is still coming. Elder Centipede helps them escape, while Metal Knight tries but fails to stop the monster. Across different cities, monsters attack everywhere. Heroes like Heavy Kong, Lightning Genji, and many others struggle to defend their areas. At the same time, Saitama, disguised as Charanko, enters the Super Fight tournament. He easily knocks out opponents like Zakos with a single slap. Suiryu, the tournament's top fighter, notices Saitama's strength. During the fights, martial artists like Lightning Max and Snek lose badly to stronger opponents like Suiryu and other skilled fighters. As monster attacks worsen, the tournament organizers consider canceling the event, but some fighters like Bakuzan insist they can handle any threat. While the tournament goes on, Janos battles monsters around Sea City, taking down enemies like Face Ripper and encountering Awakened Cockroach, a super fast monster that manages to escape after a tough fight. Meanwhile, Fubuki fights Dues, who turns her subordinates into love slaves. Fubuki pretends to fall under Dues' control, then surprises her with a counterattack. Tatsumaki, Fubuki's sister, arrives and wipes out the threats quickly. Tatsumaki scolds Fubuki, telling her that weak heroes just get in the way. Garou Introduction Arc. The Garou Introduction Arc marks the beginning of the human-monster saga and introduces Garou, a key character in the series. The arc starts with Genos, who returns to Dr. Kuseno after a battle, bringing parts from a cyborg named G4. Janos hopes these parts will make him stronger, but Dr. Kuseno worries about his safety and advises him to be cautious. Janos remains determined to continue his search for the evil cyborg who destroyed his hometown. Meanwhile, at the Hero Association headquarters, Sitch gathers a group of villains and criminals for a meeting. The criminals are told it's not a trap, but a serious discussion about how to protect Earth from threats. As Sitch begins to distribute papers, the mysterious voice of Speedo Sound Sonic interrupts, asking about Saitama. Sonic, frustrated that Saitama isn't there, causes chaos by throwing the papers into the air. Sitch then explains that the association is gathering gathering help because the number of heroes is insufficient to protect the world, and they are seeking the strength of criminals to join the cause. However, the criminals are skeptical and don't believe in working together with the heroes. The situation escalates when a man named Garou appears, claiming he's the one mentioned in a prophecy. Garou, full of energy, challenges the criminals to a fight, and soon, chaos erupts. Sitch tries to remove Garou from the building, but Garou refuses to leave. He recalls his childhood, where he admired villains in a show called Justice Man, but later realized that justice always wins. This realization fuels his desire to become the strongest monster and change the balance of power. Garou then attacks Magic Trick Man, choking him while mocking the heroes and the idea of justice. Heavy Tank Loincloth, one of the bodyguards, tries to stop Garou, but Garou easily defeats him, breaking his arm and knocking him out with a single punch. Garou declares that he's not on the human side but on the monster's side, which confuses the criminals. Bluefire, another hero, attempts to burn Garou with his attack, but Garou rips off his arm in retaliation. The situation becomes more intense as Garou defeats all the criminals. As Garou finishes the fight, he declares war on the heroes and promises that in half a year he will become stronger and challenge King. Meanwhile, Sonic, who has been wandering outside, hears the commotion but decides to leave, frustrated by not finding Saitama. Hero Hunt Arc. The Hero Hunt Arc kicks off with Bang, also known as Silver Fang, expelling his student Charanko from his dojo. Charanko later talks about this with the Saitama group, and Genos explains that Bang most likely did this to keep Charanko safe from Garou, who is becoming a real threat. At the same time, Garou is out on the streets looking for heroes to hunt. He runs into Moomin Rider and prepares to attack him, but the Tank Topper army shows up just in time. Garou is about to fight them when Tank Top Master steps in and starts battling him. Even though Tank Top Master gets a few good hits, he senses something dangerous and unnatural about Garou. Meanwhile, Bang and his brother Bomb are getting ready to confront Garou themselves. Back at the fight, Tank Top Master thinks he has beaten Garou enough, but Moomin Rider steps in, thinking Garou deserves some mercy. Tank Top Master listens at first, but Garou refuses to give up, saying he still plans to hunt heroes. Tank Top Master attacks again, but Garou finally gets serious, showing off his martial arts skills with the Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist, easily taking Tank Top Master down. Moomin Rider and the other Tank Top disciples try to stop Garou, but they don't stand a chance. Even Charanko rushes in, but gets beaten badly too. When Bang and Bomb arrive, Bang is furious seeing his student hurt. While all this is going on, Red Nose, a minor hero, is seen bragging that he could beat Garou easily, but Garou quickly proves him wrong by ambushing him. At the Hero Association Hospital, Saitama visits Moomin Rider and learns about Garou and his dangerous fighting style. They explain that Garou is especially targeting the strongest heroes. Saitama, being secretly the strongest, thinks he'll probably be targeted too, though nobody else seems to realize how strong he is except maybe Moomin Rider. After visiting Moomin Rider, Saitama stops by Charanko's hospital room. Charanko mentions the Super Fight Tournament, where martial artists compete for a big cash prize. Saitama immediately gets excited and plans to join the tournament by using Charanko's entry ticket, even though Charanko warns him not to impersonate him. Later that night, Garou heads to the Venomous Bug Tavern and picks a fight with Golden Ball, another hero. They take the fight outside where Golden Ball tries to use a ricochet shooting technique to beat Garou. It surprises Garou at first and even hits him once, but Garou recovers quickly and dodges the rest. Just when Golden Ball thinks he has a chance, Garou deflects all his bullets and gets the upper hand. Spring Mustachio, another hero and Golden Ball's friend, shows up to help, but Garou beats him too, even taking a sword strike through his hand to land a counterattack. Still not satisfied, Garou walks through the entertainment district and punches a hero named Zymeat in one shot while Zymeat is trying to impress some ladies. After that, Garou runs into Saitama by accident. Garou thinks Saitama is another hero hunting him and attacks, but his punch does nothing. Saitama casually hits Garou back, knocking him out instantly. Turns out Saitama wasn't even looking for Garou. He was just shopping for a wig to disguise himself for the tournament. The next morning, Garou wakes up in a pile of trash with no clear memory of what happened. Meanwhile, Saitama tries on his new wig at home, and Janos, seeing the wig, misunderstands and offers to get Saitama hair transplants through Dr. Kuseno. Saitama, however, is just getting ready for the martial arts tournament, and he invites Janos to come along. By the end of this arc, Garou has defeated several heroes, including Tank Top Master, Moomin Rider, Charanko, Golden Ball, and Spring Mustachio. Monster Association Arc. The Monster Association Arc kicks off when the Monster Association, it's a group of powerful monsters led by King Orochi, starts causing chaos in Z City. Their main goal is to destroy the Hero Association and create a world where monsters rule. They do this by kidnapping important people, including a hero's child, and threatening the Hero Association. They also try to turn humans into monsters using special monster cells, which is how they grow their numbers so quickly. This arc is the 6th and final part of the Human Monster Saga, and is the longest arc in the series, stretching nearly 100 chapters. It actually starts at the end of Season 2, when Sonic is offered a monster cell, but the real action begins with the Hero Association's raid on the Monster Association's underground base. The heroes send their top fighters, including S-class heroes like Tatsumaki, Bang, Atomic Samurai, Flashy Flash, and more, to rescue the hostages and take down the monsters. The battles in this arc are huge and give a lot of characters a chance to shine. For example, Zombie Man faces off against Pureblood, a powerful vampire-like monster, in a fight that shows off Zombie Man's crazy regeneration abilities. Flashy Flash has a fast-paced battle against two ninja monsters, Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame. Child Emperor faces Phoenix Man in a fight full of gadgets and strategy, pushing Child Emperor to his limits. Atomic Samurai takes on Black S, a monster who can split into countless copies. One of the most memorable battles is when Saitama finally meets Orochi, the leader of Monster Association. Orochi is super strong and tries to use the Earth's energy to attack, but Saitama defeats him easily, as usual. There's also Elder Centipede, a giant monster that takes a team effort from heroes like Bang, Bomb, and Genos to defeat. Tatsumaki plays a huge role too, using her powers to protect and save other heroes during the raid. Garou, the human who wants to become a monster, is a big part of this arc. He fights both heroes and monsters, and his story comes to a head when he awakens new powers and faces Saitama in a battle that goes beyond anything seen before, even traveling across the solar system and through time. The arc also introduces the mysterious entity known as God, who gives powers to some monsters like Homeless Emperor, hinting at even bigger threats in the future. By the end of the arc, the Hero Association wins, but the cost is high, and the world of One Punch Man is changed forever. Some monsters are defeated for good, some heroes grow stronger, and Garou's journey takes a new turn. Psychic Sisters Arc. The Psychic Sisters Arc picks up right after the battle with the Monster Association. Saitama, who just got promoted to A-class rank 39, has to move because his old home got destroyed. He moves into a new apartment complex built by Metal Knight, which has a fancy defense system. Black Sperm and Overgrown Rover, two surviving monsters from the previous fight, start following Saitama around, wanting to serve him without realizing he's headed straight to the Hero Association HQ. Once they walk in, the defense system detects them as monsters and attacks. Saitama, thinking he's the target, destroys every robot sent after them, up to level 10. When security questions him, Saitama says the robots just exploded, and King, who visits, backs up his story. Meanwhile, Sweet Mask, now with black hair and a very different attitude, beats up a new boy band called the Soda Pop Boys after they tried to mock him. It's clear Sweet Mask gained some new mysterious power after the Monster Association war. Back at the apartment complex, Metal Knight checks the destroyed robots' footage and realizes Saitama is the one who crushed them. Even though Saitama's background looks normal, Metal Knight concludes that he might be stronger than most S-class heroes and decides to keep an eye on him. While trying to meet his new neighbors, Saitama accidentally offends Forte, an A-class rank 31 hero. They agree to a bet. Whoever loses a fight has to take care of Black Sperm and Overgrown Rover. But before the fight can start, Forte gets hit by a car, Fubiki's car, and is knocked out. Since Forte technically lost, Butterfly DX gets stuck taking care of the monsters. Fubiki actually came to get Saitama to help her question Psychos, the captured leader of the Monster Association, about her third eye powers. But before they can do that, Tatsumaki storms in, trying to finish Psychos herself. Fubiki tries to block her sister, but Tatsumaki is way stronger. Saitama steps in and starts fighting Tatsumaki. Their battle goes wild, wrecking parts of Hero HQ and even moving to nearby cities. While fighting, they end up accidentally taking out a criminal gang, a dragon-level monster that Metal Bat was supposed to handle, and Sonic, who was chasing after them to fight Saitama. Tatsumaki eventually gets tired and reopens old wounds from past battles, forcing her to stop. She tries to trap Saitama underground, but he easily escapes and shows up right between Tatsumaki and Fubuki. Fubuki's Blizzard group shows up too, ready to help Fubuki fight her sister. Fubuki had disbanded the group earlier, thinking they were too weak, but they came back to prove they could be strong and stick together. Tatsumaki, thinking their bond is a weakness, tries to attack, but she collapses from her injuries just as the group gets ready to fight back. Saitama cracks a joke about finishing Tatsumaki while she's weak, but the group refuses. Tatsumaki leaves, and Fubuki remembers their original mission to secure Psychos, but Saitama is already gone. After this, Saitama catches up with Tatsumaki outside Hero HQ. Tatsumaki gets mad and calls him a baldy with no friends. Saitama questions why she tries so hard to avoid people if she became a hero to help others. Tatsumaki almost says blast when explaining herself, which leads to a flashback. 18 years earlier, Tatsumaki was locked in a cell because no one thought she had psychic powers. A man named Blast saved her from a giant monster and told her she needed to be strong because no one might come to save her in the future. This moment shaped Tatsumaki's whole life and explains why she tries to be independent and distant from others. Cruel Dragon Arc. The Cruel Dragon Arc starts with Saitama accidentally getting caught in a fight between two groups, the Saints and a cult called Deathbone. While trying to mind his own business, Saitama ends up defeating Rangor, one of the 9 top warriors from the Dragon Alliance who are teamed up with Deathbone. After Rangor is taken down, the Saints thank Saitama and tell him the full story. A long time ago, there was a terrifying monster called Cruel Dragon that almost wiped out humanity. It was only stopped when ancient soldiers sealed it away using 9 special orbs. Ever since then, the Saints have been guarding these orbs to make sure the dragon stays sealed. Meanwhile, Deathbone believes they're part dragon and actually want to bring Cruel Dragon back so they can wipe out humanity and rule over what's left. This fight between the Saints and Deathbone has been going on for 800 years, but lately, Deathbone has been getting more active, especially with all the chaos from monster attacks. While one of the Saints has a Deathbone member pinned down, that member starts giving a speech about how Deathbone will never give up until the dragon is freed. Saitama, not interested in listening to any more nonsense, just throws a bucket of water in his face to shut him up. Then, doing what only Saitama would do, he decides to just speed things up. Instead of waiting for more trouble, he says they should go ahead and revive the dragon so he can beat it up and end everything. Against the Saints' wishes, Saitama picks up the Deathbone guy, gets his help finding all 9 sealing stones, and together they run away from the Saints who are trying to stop them. After gathering all 9 orbs, the Deathbone member performs a summoning ritual. Even though more Saints show up and try to stop the ritual, they're too late. Cruel Dragon is released after centuries of being locked away. As soon as it comes back, the dragon starts talking big about how it's going to destroy humanity. But before it can even start, Saitama punches it once and completely destroys it. The Deathbone cult member is left stunned, while the Saints are overjoyed that the nightmare is finally over. Sea Monster Arc. The Sea Monster Arc kicks off when a large creature called a Sea Folk shows up, demanding that humans hand over the surface world. He doesn't last long though, because Saitama shows up and quickly punches him out. But the trouble isn't over. A big wave brings in even more Sea Folk, and they start attacking the city. One citizen is almost caught, but an A-class hero named Stinger saves him and challenges the Sea Folk to a fight. Meanwhile, Saitama and Genos are just chilling at their apartment. Genos mentions Saitama might move up to B-class soon, and talks about how the current top C-class hero has held that spot for a long time. Then Genos gets a call from the Hero Association about the Sea Folk attacking J-City, and Saitama flips on the news. They see Stinger struggling, and Saitama decides they have to get there fast. Stinger puts up a good fight, beating several Sea Folk, but just when he thinks he's won, the Deep Sea King appears and knocks him out easily. The city alarm goes off, raising the disaster level to demon, and citizens are told to evacuate. Lightning Max tries to fight the Deep Sea King, but gets wrecked. Then Puri Puri Prisoner shows up, excited for the fight. Even after using his angel-style transformation, he's still no match for the Sea King. Speed of Sound Sonic also shows up and fights the Deep Sea King. He does better thanks to his speed, but when it starts raining, the Deep Sea King powers up, getting faster and stronger. Sonic barely escapes, leaving only his clothes behind. The Deep Sea King moves to an emergency shelter where a few low-ranked heroes try to stop him, but fail badly. Meanwhile, Mumen Rider is rushing to the scene but drops his phone. Saitama picks it up and learns where the monster is. At the shelter, Genos shows up and battles the Deep Sea King, managing to push him outside. But Genos gets badly hurt when he tries to protect a little girl from an acid spit attack. As Genos' body melts, Mumen Rider arrives and attacks by throwing his bicycle. He knows he can't win, but fights anyway because he believes it's the right thing to do. People cheer for him, giving him a boost, but he gets knocked out with one punch. Just when things look really bad, Saitama finally arrives. He catches Mumen Rider, praises him for his bravery, and faces off with the Deep Sea King. Even after the Sea King punches Saitama in the head, Saitama doesn't flinch. With one punch, Saitama finishes off the Deep Sea King, saving everyone once again. The arc leaves a big impact. Sonic escapes prison, Saitama moves up to B-class, Mumen Rider finally realizes how powerful Saitama is, and heroes like Puri Puri Prisoner, Lightning Max, and Snek decide to get stronger after their losses. Plus, All Backman quits the Hero Association. Ninjazark. The Ninjazark kicks off when Flashy Flash tries to get Saitama to become his disciple. He shows up at Saitama's apartment where Saitama is just hanging out playing video games with King. Flash challenges Saitama to a training match. If Flash wins, Saitama has to become his student, but if Saitama can land even one hit in 30 minutes, Flash has to give up. The match goes exactly how you'd expect. Saitama easily dodges and controls the fight, almost punching Flash before Genos bursts in to interrupt because of a monster attack. Meanwhile, heroes like Heavy Kong, Bone, and Peach Terry are having a rough time fighting a villain group called the Internet Surfers. Speed of Sound Sonic, another fast ninja character, is also watching the fight from the sidelines. Saitama, Genos, and Flash arrive, and things get crazier when two powerful ninjas, Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame, show up. A big standoff happens, but Saitama quickly buries Sonic in concrete and Flash beats Wind and Flame, forcing them to retreat. After this, Saitama decides he's done with all the rivalry stuff and goes off on his own mission to find Manako, a mysterious character. With some help from King, Saitama tracks her down and brings her back to his place. Flash, Saitama, and Manako then head to the Hero Association to contact Blast. When they get there, they find Blast is already waiting. Flash rushes behind him like the last time they met, but Blast easily counters and starts talking seriously about God. Blast reveals that the ninja village, where Flash and Sonic grew up, was actually connected to God. The village's leader, called That Man, has woken up and is starting to cause trouble again. Meanwhile, Sonic is in his hideout when he's approached by Wind and Flame, along with a bunch of other powerful ninjas called the Heavenly Ninja Party. Sonic is shocked because, back in the day, the ninja village banned ninjas from even being friends with each other. The group tells Sonic about their plan to kill Flash and Blast and take over the world. They order Sonic to lure Flash to a trap. Back at headquarters, Flash shares the dark stuff he and Sonic saw in the village. A freaky, half-dead That Man sealed in a capsule and a weird cube tied to God. Blast confirms that the ninja village's true purpose was to create soldiers for God, and he warns that the Heavenly Ninja Party will probably come after them soon. Flash also opens up about his graduation exam at the village, where he accidentally killed everyone except Sonic. Later, Flash receives a letter from Sonic challenging him to a fight. Flash goes to meet him, but it turns out to be a setup by the Heavenly Ninja Party. Sonic, refusing to betray Flash, fights back, and a huge battle breaks out. Things look bad until Blast shows up, guided by overgrown Rover's sense of smell. When the Heavenly Ninja Party attacks, Blast easily defeats all of them without killing anyone. Alien Conquerors Arc. The Alien Conquerors Arc kicks off with Bang showing off his Water Stream Rock smashing fist to Saitama and Genos at his dojo. He tries to get them to train, but they turn him down, which annoys Bang's student, Charanko. After Genos easily defeats Charanko, Bang shares a bit about his past, revealing how his dojo used to be full of strong students until Garou, his best pupil, injured them all and got expelled. Then, a Hero Association worker shows up to deliver an emergency summon to all S-Class heroes, and the real story starts moving. At the Hero Association headquarters, S-Class heroes gather for a meeting. Right away, Saitama gets ignored by Atomic Samurai and yelled at by Tatsumaki. Sitch explains the situation. The great prophet Shibabawa has died by choking on cough drops, of all things, and her last prophecy says the Earth is in danger. Before they can even process this, the city gets attacked by the Skyfolk, but right after, an even bigger threat appears. A giant alien spaceship destroys a city in an instant, leaving only the Hero Association building standing, thanks to Metal Knight's strong construction. Saitama wastes no time. He punches a hole through the HQ roof and charges straight toward the alien ship. He's attacked by massive bullets but dodges them easily, even laughing that his clothes could have burned off if it had been a laser instead. On the ground, heroes like Iain and Atomic Samurai start fighting Melzargard, an alien with the ability to split into multiple bodies and regenerate. It's a brutal fight, but the S-Class heroes, Bang, Metal Bat, and Piri Piri Prisoner, team up to take him down piece by piece. Meanwhile, Saitama is inside the ship, casually beating aliens. He knocks out Gorobus with one punch and keeps wrecking the ship's interior, ignoring Geryuganshu's attempts to stop him with telekinesis. After easily killing Geryuganshu by chucking a pebble through his head, Saitama finally meets Boros, the alien leader. Boros is excited because he's been looking for a worthy opponent across the universe, based on a prophecy that someone could actually challenge him. Their fight is massive. At first, Boros seems tough. He blasts Saitama all the way to the moon with a huge kick, but Saitama just casually jumps back. Boros unleashes his most powerful attack, the collapsing star roaring cannon, strong enough to wipe out the planet. Saitama counters with his serious punch, completely overwhelming Boros and finishing the fight. Boros admits while dying that Saitama held back the entire time. Back outside, Tatsumaki uses her psychic powers to stop a missile strike and damages the alien ship even further. The ship finally crashes, and the surviving S-Class heroes regroup. Sweet Mask shows up, unhappy with the damage and criticizing the heroes. Things almost turn into a fight until Metal Knight arrives to scavenge alien technology for future peacekeeping weapons. Sweet Mask later kills the remaining alien survivors, calling them evil and unworthy of living. Paradise Group Arc. The Paradise Group Arc starts with a group called the Paradisers, led by a bald guy named Hammerhead. He makes a speech about how only people who enjoy working should have to work, and to prove his point, he plans to destroy the fancy mansion of a rich man named Zenitsu. Muman Rider tries to stop them but doesn't stand a chance. Meanwhile, Saitama hears about the Paradisers on the news. Since they are all bald like him, he's worried people might think he's one of them, so he decides to stop them himself. Zenitsu isn't just sitting around waiting though. He hires a ninja mercenary called Speedo Sound Sonic to take care of the problem. Sonic easily wipes out all the Paradisers except Hammerhead. The two fight for a bit, but Sonic quickly beats Hammerhead, although Hammerhead manages to escape. Out in the woods, Saitama crosses paths with Hammerhead. Hammerhead tries to fight, but Saitama crushes his special armored suit with one punch. Instead of finishing him off, Saitama tells him to change his ways and lets him go. Not long after, some shady people from a group called the Organization find Hammerhead and mock him for stealing their suits. Then, Sonic shows up and mistakes Saitama for another Paradiser. He tries to attack him, but Saitama easily blocks everything. Sonic shows off by moving super fast around Saitama, but Saitama easily keeps up. Sonic tries another attack, but accidentally slams his private parts into Saitama's fist, which knocks him back in pain. Totally embarrassed but determined, Sonic declares that Saitama is now his rival. Later, at his apartment, Saitama talks with Genos about the Hero Association. Genos explains that they should officially register as heroes so they can get recognized for their work. Supreme Hero Arc. The Supreme Hero Arc kicks off with Saitama running into Genos on the street near the ruins of A City. Genos is pretty beaten up from fighting a demon-level monster. After a quick chat about fighting and some bargain shopping Genos did, they bump into Sweet Mask. Sweet Mask asks Saitama, not Genos, to meet him the next day for tea. Saitama agrees, although he's already annoyed when Sweet Mask orders him a ginger ale instead of the Coke he wanted. During their meeting, Sweet Mask tries to teach Saitama how to be a good hero, but Saitama doesn't really care. They move their talk to a Ferris wheel cabin where Sweet Mask reveals his dark past. He shares that he was born ugly and hated himself so much that he eventually turned into a monster, but with a beautiful face. Now he wants Saitama to take over as the ideal hero he never could be. Saitama isn't interested at all and leaves to find Genos. While that's happening, a monster called Pesky Clown starts causing chaos at the fairgrounds. He kills several guards and almost attacks a civilian before Sweet Mask steps in. Sweet Mask fights the monster, doing well at first by popping 3 of the clown's life balloons. But when the crowd pays more attention, Pesky Clown powers up and beats Sweet Mask back. Forced to show his true monster form, Sweet Mask transforms and defeats Pesky Clown in a brutal fight. However, the crowd sees Sweet Mask's real monstrous face and turns against him. Even other heroes like Blue Fire are afraid of him. Saitama shows up, catches a rock thrown at Sweet Mask, and instead of judging him, supports him. Sweet Mask, overwhelmed, asks Saitama to kill him to save his reputation. Saitama refuses and keeps backing him up. Sweet Mask tries attacking Saitama, but Saitama just jumps away while holding on to him. News spreads quickly that Sweet Mask is actually a monster, and the public's trust in the Hero Association starts to crumble. Later, a scouting group from the Hero Association visits Suicho's dojo, where they meet Suiko, Suiryu's younger sister. She asks to join as an S-class hero and returns with them. Meanwhile, at Neo Heroes headquarters, leaders like Webigaza and McCoy talk about the chaos. They realize that the Hero Association is falling apart and that the Neo Heroes are now just as powerful. They also notice Blue, their #1 hero, has gone missing because he's chasing down the Sweet Mask case. Neo Heroes Introduction. The Neo Heroes Introduction Arc picks up after the events of Garou's Hero Hunting Arc. The Hero Association is struggling, so they try to recruit new powerful heroes. They offer Axel, the leader of a vigilante group called the Hunters, a spot as an S-class hero, but Axel rejects them, saying the Hero Association is corrupt. He even warns the recruiter that soon they won't even have a job. They also offer a spot to a sumo wrestler named Raiden, but he turns it down too, because he already signed with a new organization. At the same time, the Hero Association sponsors are thinking about pulling their money out and giving it to this new hero group, the Neo Heroes. They even start contacting current S-class heroes to get them to switch sides. Meanwhile, a lot of heroes are dealing with their own problems. Genos talks with Dr. Kuseno about what to do next because Kuseno doesn't trust the Hero Association anymore. Fubuki is seen dragging Psychos away after a huge battle, lying to the other heroes about what she knows. Back at his apartment, Saitama finds his neighbors hanging out inside, including Forte, who is acting super friendly because he saw how strong Saitama was against Tatsumaki. Elsewhere, Tank Top Master gathers what's left of his Tank Top gang. Many members either quit or are in the hospital after the fight with Garou. Tank Top Master blames himself and decides to train harder. Flashy Flash is thinking about how Saitama is strong but still needs the right teacher. Super Alloy Darkshine is training but can't shake off his fear of losing again. Child Emperor decides he can't trust the Hero Association anymore and plans to surpass everyone. Zombie Man visits Doctor. Genison talks about removing his limiter like Saitama did, and and Genos hints he has something interesting to show him. Bang and Kamikaze play shogi, where Bang says he wants to retire from the Hero Association because he feels responsible for Garou's past rampage. Meanwhile, in Y City, a group called the Forest Tribe invades. Heroes show up but get captured quickly, only for Genos to wipe out the monsters with his upgraded powers. Genos tells Saitama he's thinking about joining the Neo Heroes and asks if Saitama will come too. Saitama just shrugs it off, so Genos stays put. When they get home, Forde is seen building a doghouse for overgrown Rover and Black Sperm. Genos kicks Forde out of his room, claiming it for himself. Later on, Kamikaze and his students search for King and find him at a sushi shop. Kamikaze challenges King to a fight, but King bluffs his way out. Kamikaze then asks King to cut an apple with a sword to judge his skill. King nervously tries, but can't even unsheath the sword properly. Yet, somehow, Kamikaze believes King made such a precise slash that the apple's cells reattached, making the apple look untouched. Feeling inferior, Kamikaze vows to train even harder. By the end of the arc, it's revealed that Child Emperor Metal Bat, Super Alloy Darkshine, and even McCoy have left the Hero Association to join the Neo Heroes. National Superhero Registry Arc. The National Superhero Registry Arc covers how Saitama and Genos officially become professional heroes. At the Superhero Registration exam, Saitama crushes every physical test, setting new records in speed, strength, and endurance. In the locker room, Saitama and Genos talk about how easy the tests were, especially the written part, which Genos found super simple. When the results come out, Genos gets a perfect score and is placed directly into S-Class. Saitama, however, barely scrapes by with 71 points, thanks to his bad written test, and ends up starting at the bottom of C-Class. During a seminar for new heroes, they meet a hero named Snek. He tries to act superior and lectures them about what it means to be a hero. He gets especially annoyed by Saitama's blank, bored face and even threatens to sabotage his career. Saitama couldn't care less. On the way home, Genos is happy they made it in, and proudly sees himself as Saitama's disciple, even though Saitama already regrets that decision. Meanwhile, at the Hero Association office, Snek complains to a guy named Jinzurin about the new recruits. Jinzurin reminds him that Genos is already an S-Class hero, and that Saitama broke every fitness record, hinting that Snek might soon get surpassed. Later, while Saitama is walking by the river, Snek ambushes him to teach him a lesson. Snek throws a punch that connects, but off-screen, Saitama absolutely destroys him, leaving Snek half buried in the ground with just his legs sticking out. Afterward, Genos and Saitama head to a quarry to spar. Genos asks Saitama to take it seriously and attacks with a huge energy blast. Even though Genos is fighting hard, Saitama dodges everything easily. He even creates an afterimage that Genos keeps punching by mistake. When Saitama finally throws a punch, he stops it just before hitting Genos and only flicks his forehead, causing a huge dust cloud, showing the massive gap between their strength. 5 days after becoming official heroes, Genos asks if he can move in with Saitama. Saitama says no at first, but quickly changes his mind when Genos offers a big pile of cash to cover rent. While living together, Genos takes notes on everything Saitama does, hoping to uncover his secret. Saitama wants Genos to leave, but gets distracted when Genos warns him that C-Class heroes can be kicked out if they don't stay active for a week. Saitama panics and rushes out to find some crime to stop. While looking, Saitama runs into Speedosound Sonic, who still wants revenge. Saitama tells him he's too busy to fight, which makes Sonic furious. Sonic attacks, but Saitama casually destroys Sonic's sword with his teeth. Things get even crazier when Tank Top Tiger, a C-Class rank 6 hero, shows up and wrongly accuses Saitama of being a suspicious person. Tank Top Tiger tries to pick a fight, but Sonic knocks him out with an exploding shuriken, causing a panic among the civilians. Sonic starts causing destruction to force Saitama to fight him, throwing explosive shurikens everywhere. Saitama, who just wants to beat a bad guy and avoid being expelled, saves a child from a falling car and gets really annoyed by all the distractions. Finally, he punches Sonic into the ground, hoping that this counts for his weekly hero quota.